Hi guys. This is the first time I've ever gone live. Well, I went live before, but this is like, this is the first time I've gone live since I've been doing my YouTube channel over a year. Today's my 1-year anniversary. And yeah, I'm actually filming from my mother-in-law's house because my house is chaotic right now. There's like nobody. Everybody's talking and doing crazy stuff. So I'm like, I'll just do it somewhere quiet. So a live stream, just waiting to see if anybody comes in. The very first time I did a live stream, I did a walkthrough of my Earth Magic Oracle. Nobody came in and showed up. The second time I had somebody come in, but my channel just isn't getting any traction. There's like 37 or 38 subscribers, and I appreciate each and every one of them. But I just keep hearing, just like when I started this channel, I was told it's now or never. Like a few weeks before I started the channel, I got this overwhelming feeling. Someone was like, you need to start a YouTube channel. And so the day I started it was very impromptu, very matter of fact. I woke up that morning. I'd had a really crazy dream. And basically I had this crazy dream, and then I woke up and I did a huge blog on the dream and the epiphany I had with it. And then it was like somebody was saying, now go online or on YouTube and do your first video. And so that was my first video. So it's very weird that I did a year ago today. And I've done a lot of videos since then. And I just thought tonight would be like a cool get to know me chat. If anybody has any comments, questions, concerns, don't hesitate to ask. I will be looking for it. In the meantime, I do have some decks I want to show. And I haven't ever actually seen this in a tarot tag or anything like that, where you have tarot decks or oracle decks that have moved you in some way, that have utterly floored you or made you like the OMG moment or gave you the feels. So I might turn this into a tag where it's decks that give you the feels. And so I have a few decks that have given me the feels. And so I thought I would show those with you guys here. And yeah, I'm just going to type here. And I did change my YouTube name yesterday. It was just my full name. This is Angela. If I didn't mention that, I can't remember. But I changed it to Soul Dreamer. I dream all the time. I've been dreaming permanistic dreams, dreams that have some kind of hidden meaning in them since as long as I can remember. So I decided to change things up a bit and change the name since it's been a year. And so, yeah, as of officially last night, I became Soul Dreamer on YouTube. Yeah. I've had a really crazy week. I worked today. I got off at 5, and then I was busy picking out decks and thinking of what I could do on here if nobody showed up to have a chat, which doesn't look like anybody's here so far. But then it got me thinking about all the decks I was thinking about were decks that have done something for me, given me some kind of feeling in some kind of way that changed me, or changed a viewpoint I've had, or something like that. And I honestly, I've watched thousands and thousands of YouTube videos, and I don't think I've ever seen one like that. So the first time I had the feels with a deck, it was more of a, oh, so this is what this is like. And I was, if you've seen any of my channel, you would know that when I started my tarot journey, much like when I started my spiritual journey, it was literally me waking up one morning with the overwhelming need to buy a tarot deck. And so I went and bought a tarot deck, and I still to this day cannot work with it. I haven't resonated with it at all. It actually gives me like an anti-deck vibe, that it's just like I don't even want to touch it. And so then the next couple of decks I bought were Oracle decks, and I resonated with them quite well. And then I saw the Illuminati Tarot, and published by Low Scarabaro. And this deck has, I'm dropping cards already. This deck was the second tarot deck I ever bought. These are the backs. And I'm just going to show you a few cards here. Here's a glare, I'm sorry. Showing the decks from the Tarot Illuminati. This is actually the card that made me buy this deck. It was this World card. It's gorgeous, gorgeous card. And this deck, I've heard that it's cheeky or crass, or like the images don't, or the bodies don't fit the heads and stuff like that. But I love this deck for the reason of the Three of Swords. Because at the time that I bought this deck, I was still struggling. And I was like, maybe tarot's just not for me. Maybe it's just something I cannot do. I was already reading with Oracle decks. The two I have, they were profound, giving me profound information. But I was at the point where I was still sticking with the book because I didn't want to be wrong. I was letting my ego get in the way of things, and I was not listening to myself intuitively, my intuitive self. And so one night I was sitting there late at night because I don't sleep. I was sitting down, and I was going through this deck, playing with it, and doing kind of like a little, what can I expect in the near future? You know, and I'd pull a card, and then something told me to go on to my Facebook group that I follow and ask anybody if they want to do a reading. And I got a couple people that wanted to do me to pull a card for them. And I pulled this Three of Swords. Now, and for some reason, when I pulled it, because anytime I pull this card from the RWS, which this is a very RWS deck, you automatically in the forefront see the Three Swords and the heart. And it's like an automatic, this is what it is. It's about heartbreak. It's about despair. And for the first time, I connected with a card unlike any other way I connected with the tarot. Because for the first time, I did not see the Three Swords or the heart or the dripping blood down there. I saw the waves crashing against the shore, hitting the rocks with like this just massive storm, and you could see the clouds and stuff behind there. There's lightning strikes in there, and the waves just going crazy, and almost looks like a tornado back there. And that's what I saw. And it's like I had stepped into the car and was witnessing. I could feel the breeze from the wind. Um, and for the first time, I connected with the tarot on a whole other level. And that's why this deck will always be special to me, because it's the deck that helped me connect to the tarot in a way that I had not before, or, you know, ever will again, probably, just because this was like the aha moment of put the book away, forget everything you think you know. What does it was this moment of just, what do you see? Um, and so when I revealed what I was seeing was the waves and the storm, this massive storm, I was like, yes, there's a storm now, but storms always end. They always There's always a rainbow after the storm, and that is what I was seeing, and that's what I was taking away from it, and that's what I gave this person, and it floored her, because she had been doing reading tarot for like 20 years and had never saw this card that way. Um, and for somebody that's always the cup is half empty kind of person that I am, I just found it very beautiful that yes, there's this horrible view in the front. There's this horrible storm going on. The waves are just crashing and bashing against the shoreline and the rocks. But I saw something else, something better on the way. And so it forever changed the way I see the Three of Swords. It forever changed the way I see tarot, in and of itself. Because at that point, I disregarded the books. I started listening to what my guides, angels, my intuitive self was wanting read. And so far, I've done pretty well. And I've actually just started, because I think the whole purpose, I truly believe the whole purpose for me needing to learn the tarot the way I did was my guide's way of saying, well, because you're a medium and you're not listening to us the way you need to be listening to us to make that happen, we're going to have you learn tarot. And I really didn't understand it at the time, but it's becoming more and more clear to me the longer I've learned, the longer I'm learning tarot and getting different decks and reading with it, that it was never about the tarot. It was about me learning to trust myself for the information to come in. And that's what the tarot has taught me, is to get out of my own way, put the ego aside. You can't be perfect all the time. And that's what I was trying to do, because I'm a Virgo. I'm always striving for perfection. And this is just not something you can strive for perfection in. You have to give it up, let go of that control. And once I did that, once this deck taught me to do that, and once I did that, it was wow. It has been a roller coaster ever since. So that was the first deck I ever connected with, and for that, it is one of my babies, one of my special babies. So yeah, if you guys have this deck, let me know what you think of it. It's published by Eric C. Dunn, and the funny thing is not published. It's created by Eric C. Dunn. The book is fantastic. It was written by Kim Huggins, and again published by Love Scarabaro. I was originally intrigued by the Apocalypsis, which is the second tarot deck they did together. But I wound up buying this one first just because it was the first one, and I've yet to buy the Apocalypsis because I almost feel like I don't need it because of the journey I've gone through with this deck. I will eventually get it just because it's beautiful and it's a little bit different images. So yeah, that is the first deck. Let me see here. And yeah, so that was the first deck. So the second deck, and I don't think any of the rest of them are going to be in any particular order. Well, the next one maybe. But the very next deck that I connected with, and I'm sorry I'm bending down to get them because they're in a bag down here. But the very next deck that I connected with was the Light Sears Tarot by Chris Am. It is gorgeous. It is my soul deck. I do have the mass market version, not the indie version. But when I got the Illuminati, and this is published by Hay House, when I got the Illuminati, the Eight of Swords kept coming to me, and it's funny because the very first deck I got, which was the Radiant Rider-Waite-Smith that I don't connect with, the only card that intrigued me was the Eight of Swords. So then I turned around and got the Illuminati, and of course the Eight of Swords just kept, like, I was like, I love it. Why am I so intrigued with this card? So then I watched a walkthrough of the Light Sears Tarot, and everybody has this deck. It is amazing. Oh, look at that strength card. I mean, come on. It's gorgeous. Gorgeous deck. I love the way it feels. I've talked many times about the way it smells. It's the only deck in my collection that I smell all the time because there's this smell to it that just, it's amazing. Amazing. And it instantly calms me down. I don't know what it is. It smells like paper. I don't know. It's some kind of olfactory sense. I don't know. But I know that this deck gives off a distinct smell. Maybe that's only to me, but it's just weird, the smelling of this deck. I smell it all the time. I'm a deck sniffer, yes. Just this one though. And that's why it seems more like a confirmation that it is my soul deck because it has a distinct odor to it. Not odor, because odor smells. Odor would seem like I'm saying it's bad. It's not. But yes, I love this deck. But the reason I bought this deck was the Eight of Swords. And when I went through and saw the walkthrough, I'm like, I gotta have it. As soon as I saw the Eight of Swords, I'm like, and then I realized I'm obsessed with the Eight of Swords. Why? So I bought the deck, get it in the mail. I instantly opened it and looked at the Eight of Swords, and I started bawling because so much of my life has seen dark days. So much of it, and this card was just this. It reminded me of me. That's me in the mirror. I've seen that so many times, that image of myself where I felt like I was trapped, where I had nowhere to go. And I never saw that this is actually my reality, not what I'm seeing in the mirror. So it took a very long time to stop seeing myself in the mirror this way. And this was a profound, like, wow, life-changing moment when I realized this is why I'm stalking this card, because this was what I needed to face. Was this is how I was seeing myself for so many years, and I didn't have to see myself that way. That there's so many options if I would just stop seeing myself in this perspective. And it was just very profound for me, very profound moment. But yeah, as soon as I saw that, I was crying. And this deck is just phenomenal. I used it throughout the height of the pandemic in this area because various places have, you know, the pandemic and other different times. It's heightened. And this deck got me through. And yeah, if I had to take just one deck with me forever, this would be it. Just because it showed me the way I really am, not the way I was perceiving myself to be. So yes, that is deck 2. And I'm going to take a drink of water. So the next deck, this deck, I consider this a dark deck. Some people may not. I see it as a dark deck, but it is the Tarot of the Secret Forest published by Lo Scarabero. And once I bought this, I'm like, well, I already got a couple Lo Scarabero. Maybe I'm all about Lo Scarabero. And I actually have several Lo Scarabero decks. I don't realize they're Lo Scarabero until I get them in the mail. But yeah, I'm apparently drawn to Lo Scarabero decks. But this deck is different because, first of all, it's like dark fairies. And oh my God, look what I pulled up. That's the 8 of Swords. Seriously? I did not plan that. The 8 of Swords in color, and then instead of a back, it's in black and white on the back. And to me, that's why it's a dark deck, because it's like the light side or the dark side. And look at her caught up in the rambles there. The thorns and stuff. That's crazy. And these vines here, and I find this deck very interesting because you could see it like this. It looks like just regular vines that she's walking into, or like thorn bushes or something. But this one, it actually looks like it's got a hold of her. And this one actually looks like a person as part of the vine, and like feet and stuff there. And that's another body maybe. But there's subtle differences in the black and white part of it versus the color. And that's one of the reasons I was drawn to this deck. I actually saw this on a walkthrough on Kittens, Weights, and Tarot, her channel. And yeah, I was like, as soon as I saw it, I'm like, I have to have this deck. Have to have it. It is beautiful. It's perfect. It's, I think, a little smaller than a regular tarot size. But it is gorgeous. It does very dark reads sometimes. Even on the colored side. Like, this would be a perfect deck to do shadow work with. Honestly. It is, yeah. And it's a little different than a normal RWS deck. And as I've said before, anything that strays from any traditional system, I'm all for it. All for it. But this deck, when I first really started getting confident, and I totally forgot the thing I was on earlier. Maybe I said it. It's the reason I think I was supposed to learn tarot is to marry my mediumship skills and the tarot to give me more confidence to be able to do mediumistic reads. And then eventually maybe the tarot would drift away and it would just be me as the medium. So the tarot to me would be like, it's kind of my crutch for now, until I have the confidence to be able to read as a medium. One of the first things that happened when I was like, it was like, I was learning tarot. And then one day it was like, somebody was like, do a reading for somebody, but do it as a medium. And I'm like, And before I even posted on Facebook that I was trying to practice doing a mediumistic type of read, I saw somebody post a thing about their uncle had been missing for a while. This was like end of December, beginning of January of this year. And I was immediately drawn to it, and I was already getting like clairvoyant things happening. And I'm like, what is happening right now? And then I did a 4 directional spread, and I was floored because one of the cards was the 6 of Swords. Now, 6 of Swords is normally about moving into moving out of rough waters, moving into a better day. But this image freaked me out because I don't see a better day. I see darkness. And what floored me was the clairvoyant things I was seeing. One of the first things I saw was a lazy little river with a boat tied up to it. I described the boat in detail, which apparently that was his boat that had sunk. And they could not find out if he was on it or not. It was a whole ordeal. And when I pulled this card, I freaked out because this was the exact image I was seeing clairvoyantly before I ever pulled the card. And it kind of shut me down for a few days because it freaked me out so bad that I was like, this is the exact image I was seeing of where this person was. And I was right on where they lived, what their name was, the community. It's actually called a community that he had lived in the last place he was seeing. And yeah, it was just a crazy, crazy thing. And I'm like, this deck means business. So I don't know if I just, because it's like one of the first times I was even touching this deck. I don't even remember seeing this card before that. But now this card in this deck haunts me because I always think of that moment where I'm like, okay, this is real. This is really happening. Like I'm seeing this stuff in my visions, and here it is on a card. So that gave me some weird feels. And I was just like, and I didn't put the tarot down, but I kind of shut down the medium part of it for a little bit after that because it freaked me out really bad. And just the nature of what was going on. I was not getting good vibes from it at all. So I was just like, yeah, I'm shutting this down. And so yeah, that is the Tarot of the Secret Forest, and I love it. And it's funny because the first time, one of the first times after that I had read with it, and I was telling my sister-in-law, I was like, oh, this is a dark deck. I'm like, it really shows you your, what do you call it? Shows you the negative things about you and the negative aspects and the dark parts of you. And she's like, why would you want to do that? And I was like, to heal them. Like, why wouldn't you want to show these things about yourself so you can really sit with them and learn to grow from them? And that's what I got from that deck is it got me realizing I'm not afraid of the dark stuff. I'm not afraid of the dark parts of me that need to be healed. So yeah, that was that deck. So the rest of them, I don't have no idea what order I bought them in. So the rest of them, well, one of them I do, but the rest of them are just random. So let's get an oracle deck in there. So I bought Soul Cards 1 by Deborahchapin. I don't remember who published this, but I got it off Amazon for like $20. So back in like June or July, maybe August, I bought this deck because I'd seen it everywhere, and I was like, ooh, it's a more intuitive read. It's beautiful. The cards feel fantastic. It really looks like something, because I was really trying to bring out the more intuitive parts of me. And this is a perfect deck for that. There's no keywords. There's only these fantastic images that speak to you very deeply. And so I had just got this deck, and like I just did a walkthrough maybe the day before, and then I pulled this card. I may have actually pulled this card in the walkthrough. I'd have to go back and look, but I pulled this card in the walkthrough and immediately got forked tongue, lies, and I'm like, why am I getting these horrible things? Like, why am I getting like devilish tongue? Why am I getting this horrible, horrible like feeling from this card? And these horrible like thoughts and horrible words, and I'm just like, this is crazy. So that was in the morning, right? Later that afternoon, I got a phone call from a person, and the phone call was not nice. It was very disturbing. It broke my heart, and I realized in that moment, oh my God, this card was right. That I felt like not only were there forked tongue or lies going to happen, but it was going to happen soon, and it was going to happen to me. And sure enough, not 6 hours later, the phone call I got just floored me. It was heartbreaking, soul shattering. And I knew immediately that this person was not being truthful or honest about their feelings, about what they were saying. I don't know if they were actually intentionally trying to hurt me, but they did. But this was like a immediate soul connection with this deck because of this card. And I've been reading Fantastic with it ever since. This was a moment of I'm floored, I'm flabbergasted. It was one of those moments that, hi Lavender Moon, somebody's here. I'm so excited. But this deck was one of those decks that just immediately, when I got this card and was reading with it, I don't know why you don't see anything. It says it's on live. I don't know. No, I've been on for 33 minutes. Nobody's here but me. Can you hear me? Let me see here. I don't know what's going on here. Okay. Oh, you can't even hear me either? What is happening? Everything says it's working on my end. Let me go to my phone here. I can't even get on there on my phone. What's happening? Hold on. My God. I'm having such problems. I can't even get on there on my phone. That's crazy. I'm giving her a minute. Okay, anyway, that is the card that, yeah, made me love this deck. Anyway, now I'm kind of weird. It's showing everything on my volume and everything is up. So that's weird. Let me see here on my volume here. Can you hear me now? Says I'm live. I've been live for 35 minutes. Maybe that's why I'm not seeing anybody. There's something going on wrong. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, so the next deck that I wanted to talk about was the New Era Elements Tarot. I love this deck, but it is very dark. Very, very dark. Very dark deck. These are the backs. It's one of those decks that it's very new age. She said she still can't see me. Holy cow. That's weird. She's still saying she can't see me. I've been on here for 37 minutes talking to myself, I guess. Nobody's on there. Yeah, that's crazy. There's the moon. But yeah, this deck just gives me all kinds of feels every time I read with it. And it is different. Instead of the swords, cups, wands, and pentacles, it is the air, earth, fire, and water. And it has keywords for each card. And it's super dark, super dark, super dark. Look at that. Crazy. This card, or this deck, just gives me all kinds of feelings and emotions, and it's one of those decks that just like I've said before, it fillets you. It cuts you down to the core. It makes you really sit and think about what you're seeing, what you're reading, what you're hearing, what you're feeling. And so yeah, that is why that deck is in this stash right here, right now. So we only got 2 more decks. That's crazy. But that's I'm it says I'm live. I don't get it. Huh. And then we have the Magic of You Oracle. I love this deck because it's published by Rockpool Publishing. And that the New Elements Tarot was published by US Games. The Epiphany card. When I first got this deck, I drew it like 8 times in a row. And it's one of those decks that when I first, and I just remember I forgot a deck. It was at a time where I was like, should I be doing this? Should I be trying to be a medium? Should I be trying to do anything. And it, I pulled this like the first 8 times I pulled anything from this deck. It kept saying, reveal your gifts, reveal your gifts, reveal your gifts. And every time I pull a card from this deck, it's very different. It's created by Fiona Horn, and I love it. Every time I pulled from this deck, it's kind of, it would be great to work with the New Era Elements Tarot, because it gives you so many feels and so many just like deep, dark, gets down and dirty with it. And that's one of the things I adore about this deck. Adore about it. So yeah, that is the Magic of You Oracle by Fiona Horn. It's amazing. So the last deck, I got it. Just recently got it, the Sacred Destiny Oracle. And I have to get a shout out to the Sacred Rebels, because I forgot it. Cannot believe I forgot it. But I've showed it many times. That deck made me cry. Makes me cry every time I open it. And I don't cry ever. But this deck, I've been working with the oh my gosh. I just got the tarot deck in the mail not that long ago. The oh my gosh. What deck is it? The animals, it's all animal deck. Tarot deck. By Three Trees Tarot. Okash and Thorn. I've been working with them two together, this deck and that deck, and they are amazing together. Just amazing. Every time I pull a card from this deck, it's just the intuitive hits just keep coming. And it's just kind of my little reminder that, yes, the deck is beautiful, but your intuitive, and look at that, it is gorgeous. Your intuitiveness is well on its way. And that's what I get when I read with this deck. I love it. So yeah, that, look at these, just beautiful. And I recently did a walkthrough of this deck as well. So yeah, it is gorgeous. Gorgeous. Oh, love this one. So that is my decks that I have here that are, shall I say, what should I say? They are my decks that give you the feels. And I've not seen any videos where people say that. And I cannot believe I forgot the Sacred Rebels Oracle deck. But yeah, it is amazing. Amazing. They are amazing. All my decks are. So I don't know what else to do here. I wanted to finish the walkthrough of the decks. So I guess I'll end this here, and then I'll try to get back in and see if it comes up that way. But yeah, this was my 1-year YouTube anniversary. If you guys want to show your decks that give you the feels, I would be happy to see them. Yeah. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.